Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish, bringing back from the dead the Critical Thinking with Childish series, episode number 18. Willpower. Do you have the willpower? Yes. It has nothing to do with willpower. It's about the runes, baby. The runes. We're going to be talking about those runes. As you remember, the last episode number 17, we started to dive in a little bit more to the different types of new runes. We started with revenge. Now we're going to be working our way towards the will runes, right? And the will runes are pretty much self-explanatory. They're going to provide, immunity for one turn and one turn only. So, of course, some people look at this and they are like, what the F, bro? This ain't worth it. And I want to say for the mid to late stages of the game, especially that mid stage, anywhere from the 1400 to the 2000s, there's going to be a little bit more emphasis on trying to get these will runes. And the reason being is because in that range, you got a very, very wide variety of people that not only on the arena offense, as well as the arena defense, they utilize speed-based teams and or control-based teams. Those are pretty much the meta around that time. You know, as you get to the later stages of the game, you're going to find more hit point-based teams. But in that middle stage of the game, you're going to find the speed-based teams. And it basically comes down to, who's faster. And who gets an opportunity to go first. So we're going to go through some of the units that I think are clutch with regards to providing the will rune, and hopefully you guys can take a look at it for future use. So I'll just kind of make a blanket statement here for the will runes. The units that I'm going to be covering are pretty much game-changing units that will, game-changing units, pretty much units that are going to make or break a particular offense and or defense. Okay, and I'll go ahead and kind of explain different scenarios so that you guys can get a point. I'll start with actually, the first unit I'm going to start with is my unit, the Wind Undine here. And she has the ability to, heal as well as remove all harmful effects and heal again. So, in my current lineup, as you guys know, I'm running the Wind Dragon, Jameer, Amon, the Delphoy, and Darien. Right now, it's definitely doing a very, very good job. But, one of the things that myself as well as others have kind of pointed out is to improve on my defensive wins. Would be to utilize a will set on this one. And why is that? Because you're going to find a lot of, all elements, fire, water, and wind-based teams that have an absurd amount of speed that have the opportunity to not only, reset my cooldown times, but to freeze my unit. And if they get an opportunity to freeze my unit before it even gets an opportunity to use any skill, let alone Spirit's Blessing, my team is going to be in a world of hurt. All right, so a will rune on this unit is going to be a solid combination. Okay, next one up, Acasis. And why is Acasis coming up here? Let's go ahead and show the awakened version here. Where we at? Boom. So creates a shield that absorbs the damage, inflicts the proportionate of returns. Again, another really big one. Why is this big? Obviously it provides that shield, but one of the buffs that I think is very, very overlooked as well is the buff that provides a reduced chance of critical hit. Okay, so what does that mean for a person that's using it for their defense? If you have an opportunity to reduce the amount of damage that's coming from units that are based off of Rage Blade, Rage setup, which is definitely the meta, right? Everyone uses Rage Braid. Everyone focuses on trying to get the most amount of crit damage you can. If they lose out the opportunity to do that high amount of damage, then this is going to work really, really well. So you'll see myself come in a lot with Jameer, Megan, Lucian, and Acasis when I'm going against Lucian-based teams. I'm probably not going to be able to be as fast as their Bernard or Megan, but if I have the opportunity to get Acasis' force field up before their Lucian provides their, does their amputation magic, I can greatly reduce the amount of attack damage that is done to me. So, big one here. What was the other one that I wanted to kind of hit up here? And another, I would say another category, so to speak, would be the units that are going to have, abilities that can remove beneficial effects. So Aquila as well as Soha, you can make a reason for utilizing Will. Obviously with Soha, you're really, really focused on accuracy, especially with this one too. You got the bonus here, but you really focus on accuracy to get these skills to land and so on and so forth. So again, if you're rocking this on offense or defense, if somebody gets a jump on you and freezes you, this can definitely be an issue when you're basically relying on this unit to take down a Chloe-based team. All right, so consider using Will, but don't sacrifice your main substat just for the opportunity to do it. Like, so my example is yes, accuracy for Soha and Aquila are going to be extremely important. But if you get yourself a 3-star Will rune, right, and you're like, oh, let me go ahead and put those on, and it has hit points or attack for slot 6. I mean, but prior to that you had a plus 15 attack accuracy rune. Don't switch those out just to get the immunity buff. Obviously, being able to prevent you from getting freeze is great, but if you can't have the right amount of accuracy to land your buff, I mean, none of it really matters, right? So accuracy comes first, but then when you start farming the runes, definitely look for those high quality runes to replace. So of course, I'm talking about the 6 slot, but the wheel runes that you could find could be for any slot, right? It doesn't really matter. I prefer trying to find combinations for the 1, the 3, and the 5 slot, because generally speaking, a lot of people are already going to have really strong runes for their 2, 4, and 6 slot, and not going to want to replace it since those are percentage based and those are hard to come by. I don't believe there was any other win ones that I wanted to talk about here. Just taking a quick look. Oh, well, again, this is another one of those situations where probably is not needed, but we can go ahead and make a point. Again, any unit that utilizes an attack gauge increase, on arena offense, normally you're going to be coming in with the idea or concept that you're going to be ahead of them. Normally if you're a speed-based team attacking another speed-based team, you're generally attacking them because you have a really good idea that you probably will have the jump, just by looking at their team versus your team. But if you're trying to utilize a Bernard on the arena defense team, then yes, you can make a reason for utilizing Will, because again, this is one of those buffs that obviously if you don't, if you get stunned, or if you get somebody gets a jump and resets your cooldown time, you can be in a world of hurt because all your other units are relying on basically this buff to get the job done. That is it, I believe, for the win-based units. Only other one you can make a comment about is the Will rune for a revive, but I'm not too concerned about that because if you're reviving, right at the beginning of the fight, with your arena defense, you got some serious issues with the rest of your team, so not too worried about that one. Let's move on to water. Again, we're going to talk about the attack gauge increasers. So Megan, if I had my choice, I definitely would rock Swift and Will. with the same combination that we got, speed, hit point, accuracy, just so I can have that prevention at the beginning. So before I made the change to arena defense, myself as well as many of you guys watching don't have an arena defense team, so they've been basically utilizing their arena offense for their arena defense, and a lot of those teams have been based on speed. So it pretty much comes down to, is your speed-based team faster than the other speed-based team? And generally speaking, they're taking units like a Tyron that have a certain amount of speed, or a Bernard that have a certain amount of attack gauge increase, getting the jump on you and taking you down, or freezing your attack gauge buffer, so it doesn't allow you to utilize your attack gauge buff for the rest of the team. Again, if you have the opportunity to raise your speed ridiculously high, then you obviously don't need to be concerned about wheel runes. But units like this, where they're very crucial to the game, but you'll notice that their base speed is a little bit lower than other units out there, like a Chloe or a Bernard or whatever, then it's going to be a little bit harder to get their max speed up, all the way. So a wheel rune could definitely be a game changer for that particular unit here. Let's take a look. No, I don't think there was anything else. Again, we already talked about Soha. You're not going to see this too much. You're not going to see this really on arena defense team. This is more of a offensive unit. I have seen it on arena defense, but to me it's can be too unreliable. Like how do I put it? If somebody sees a decked out arena defense team with a Soha, and you're running if you're running a Chloe based team, if that's how you've been running your stuff with some kind of a immunity and vulnerability prevention, you're obviously not going to run yourself into a team that has a quality Soha, 6-star Soha, or a 6-star Praha, or any Juno, any of those Aquila, any of those units that can remove beneficial effects. You're not gonna take your team into a team like that. So for a unit like that, you're gonna see that primarily on offense. So let's see. I think that was it. Again, I'm not gonna focus too much on some of the newer units, just because they're a little bit rare. They're not gonna have, they're not gonna have too much of a impact on us. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah. So for those that didn't see on the last, update, you got the Fedora, who's the, had the recent, change for the better, removing all the harmful effects and getting the immunity for 2 turns again. If you have the opportunity to, prevent yourself from getting frozen by a Tyron or getting rickrolled from a Lucian, you just definitely want to have the opportunity to cast this as soon as possible. Make sure that if you take a big hit from like a Lucian or something like that, but you don't die, that you got the opportunity to put this up so that you can prevent, any more deaths while you're, sitting at a vulnerable state. So pretty cool unit. It's funny because I think between Team Epic Fail, we summoned basically like 3 or 4 of these between 3 people. All of us already, fused them away into some other 5-star fodder or something like that or whatever. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. Let's see. There's really no other water-based units that everybody uses that is more arena defense-based. Let's talk about that fire, son. All right, where's the awakened ones? Where are we at? Well, obviously we know that the big one is going to be Chloe for the fire, just because the Fanatic, we already know how important a will rune would be on a Chloe. This is definitely going to be the top topic in this particular video. Emphasizing will runes on units that provide any kind of invulnerability or immunity, group-based invulnerability or immunity. You can make a reason for people that are single target, but some of these game-changing units with the group buffs are going to be ones to really focus on. Another one, again, we're still talking about the attack gauge increasers. So you can make a reason for having will on this, because if a Tyron-based team, gets to jump on you and freezes your Vertihill, you're pretty much SOL. Because a speed team in the arena defense that utilizes a vertihill, you'll see it utilized by itself. Sometimes you'll see it utilized with either Bernard or a Megan. So they're really, really decked out on speed. I've never seen a Megan Vertihill team or a Bernard Vertihill team that wasn't like top notch. So a team like this, where if you're saying, hey, I got right now my offensive team's on point, but I have no arena defense, and I want to use my arena offense for my arena defense, then yes, you can use it. But if you want to consider, hopefully getting some more defensive wins, then you need to make sure that you're not getting frozen by Tyron, because a lot of people are going to be using a Tyron-based team to lock down your Vertihill. So we got Chloe, we got the Vertihill. I thought there was one more here. I'm definitely going to bust this one out. You'll see this in an underrated and overlooked series. This might even come out beforehand, but we'll see how it is. But the next one is going to be Rebecca. This is definitely something that you will not see utilized a lot, and this is, to me, it's very, very nice, because there's going to be a lot of teams that are speed-based or control-based that are going to get the jump on you. Again, Tyron is a big, big one. A high-speed wind sylph or fire sylph or whatever, those AoE units that are utilizing Despair are going to be Despair with a speed-based emphasis. They're going to be they're going to be getting the jump on a lot of arena defense teams that are not really arena defense teams. They're your arena offense. You're trying to utilize it for arena defense. So a unit like this, which is extremely common, you put a wheel rune on this, you have the opportunity to not only remove all those harmful effects on the get-go, but then recover a ton of HP here. And of course, depending on what kind of team they're bringing, you can get yourself quite a bit of HP back. For those that don't know this particular unit, you got yourself a skill that attacks all enemies, weakens their defense, and with arena offense teams that are coming at you with Megans and Bernards and so on and so forth, this could definitely again be a very, very nice skill to have, because a lot of teams like that are going to be coming with support units that buff the crap out of their units. A Seek, a Megan, a Bernard, all those are going to be huge. So having the ability to not get stunned the first turn could be crucial. So I think there you have it. There's really no other units to really focus on. Again, some of these other units like Juno, whatnot, they're not common. You can make reason for putting a wheel rune on a unit that can remove beneficial effects. But again, not too common. You won't see it utilized too much. Some other common ones here that are uncommon ones that you see, all of the water and the fire-based bounty hunter, providing the buffs. This one you'll see a little bit more common. People have been stating that the water-based unit always casts the third skill the first time. I don't know if it's a bug or something, but it seems like that's the case. So if that's the case, then watch out for this one, because again, this is basically a water version of a Bernard. So you'll see that utilized a lot late stages of the game. Let's see. You will see a Luir. Again, you're not gonna see people. A lot of people. You're gonna see more. In my opinion, you're probably gonna see more arena offense usage for this. But then, if you have a very, very high speed-based team, you probably will see a couple of Luirs in the arena defense, because again, you can get his speed really darn high, and he does have a high base speed. So you make another reason for doing this, since this has the opportunity to, hit all the enemies. If you have a Despair State, get some stuns in. But the big thing is the attack bar decreased by 50%. So, again, like I said before, this goes to any buffer for attack and defense. This goes for any attack gauge increaser or decreaser. I guess since we're talking about decreases, we can go back to the fire spectra, the fire griffin. Again, another attack age decreaser. You're never going to see this in the mid to late stages, but hey, if you're a beginner and you see this in the beginning stages, don't be surprised if this jumps out at you. You know, if they can, I mean, look at that base speed, right? I mean, I don't know why, people don't play around with this one right here. This might be another underrated and overlooked that we could talk about. Look at that damn base speed, man. That's sick. So definitely another game changer if people, were able to level it up and utilize it. So again, the attack age decrease is only 30%, but in addition to it, it's like the complete opposite of Bernard. Attack age decrease with the attack speed, and then this one decreases their attack speed in addition to decreasing the attack age. So a lot of interesting units getting thrown out there. Again, I think that covers it, and you guys are more than welcome to put your comments in the comment section down below as far as some other units that might be, Wheel Rune might be considered, a great idea, because obviously there's way too many units to discuss, and I'm not going to get into light or dark because light and dark are too uncommon. You're not going to see too much be utilized for us unless they're, the typical common ones, Inugami, Bearman, Vagabond. You're not seeing a lot of dark units these days used, so not going to focus on that too much. But until that time, guys, thank you for your guys' support. If you guys like these critical thinking videos, please smash that like button. I love doing these, but again, you can only talk about so much with these certain types of videos. So if you're liking this series here, this part, go ahead and keep it going, and we'll go ahead and provide you more videos as we get them. So thanks again for tuning in. It's your boy Childish, ChildishPlays, checking out. Take care, and we'll see you next time. I'm out.